Hey everybody, this is David from Second Main Phase. I'm bringing you guys another Dragons of Tarkir Fate Reforged draft. We've got a pretty easy opener here. Thunderbreak Regent is excellent. It's a low-cost evasive threat, and it's got a pretty good ability. You know, you're going to be trading uh, whatever removal spell they use to deal with this guy, and you're going to get 3 damage out of it. So in addition to this being worth a few tickets, it's a pretty easy pick for us. Looking around the rest of the pack, there's some decent stuff. I like Epic Confrontation quite a bit. Avon Sunstriker is a decent card. As far as playables go, Light Walker, Servant of the Scale, and the right decks and Sidisi's Faithful are all fine, but nothing's going to take us off of Thunderbreak Regent. I actually really like being red, so we're going to take this and be perfectly happy. All right, next up, there's some, ooh, wow, so there's some great stuff here. Deathwind, probably the best card in the pack. This card is excellent. You know, you can kill basically any creature with it. That being said, I'm kind of tempted to take the Sarkhan's Rage to stay on red. You know, passing a Sarkhan's Rage is a pretty big signal to somebody to our left, so that could cause problems, you know. I don't mind being black-red, and so that may be a nod to taking Deathwind here. You know, functionally, I think the cards are pretty similar. If you're sinking 5 mana into Deathwind, you're probably, you know, killing something big. So I don't mind taking Sarkhan's Rage here. I think I'm going to take it. Keeps us in red, and yeah, it doesn't have us as sort of non-committal as we are. And if we can cut red in this first pack, then we can pick up enough red to get enough playables in the second. So I don't mind doing that here. Though this does mean that probably our neighbors are going to be in black. Though in this pack, I mean, the black was very strong anyway, so we would run that risk either way. Okay, from this pack, there's plenty of decent cards in the pack. I quite like Summit Prowler in the format, and I think it's going to be my pick here. Other cards in this pack that are good, Zephyr Scribe is quite good, especially if you're in the sort of white-blue rebound deck. Belltoll Dragon is also very good. I think Belltoll Dragon and then the White Dragon, I can't quite remember its name, are the two of the uncommon cycle of dragons in dragons that I like a lot. Hexproof and Flying together are very strong. I don't really like blue-red in the format, so I think I'm just going to take this sort of safer pick here. Great Teacher's Decree can be fine. If we end up in red-white, an effect like that or Warflare would be welcome. And as far as white cards go, Echoes of the Kin Tree can be very good if you sort of build around it. The rest of the pack is fine. Like there aren't any like sort of total whiffs in that pack, but there wasn't anything amazing either. Okay, so there are no red cards in this pack. As far as other cards that we can play, Profound Journey is not impressive, and it's also just sort of prohibitively expensive, so that's not going to be our pick here. As far as strong cards in this pack, Cunning Breeze Dancer is fine, but it's not really worth moving over into 2 colors that we don't have. The best cards are probably Rune Scarred Bear and Zephyr Scribe, with maybe a nod towards Territorial Rock, because I do like being a white-red aggressive deck. And even though you say, you know, 1/3, it's not very aggressive. Flying on a 2-drop can really get some points of damage in there. And given what we've seen so far, I'm actually going to take, I'm going to take the Rock. Like, I should probably take the Bear here, but I really am a fan of red-white, so we'll see what happens here. Dragonlord's Servant, probably not playable. We have 1 dragon. Other than that, it's just a 2-mana 1/3. Sandstorm Charger is totally fine. Other cards in the pack that are good, I guess Dragonloft Idol is something to consider. Maybe that's the pick here. We have 1 dragon, and perhaps we pick up 1 or 2 more, and it can go into any deck. The cards here that I'm considering are Dragonloft Idol, Sandstorm Charger, Butcher's Glee. Those are sort of the best cards in the pack, with Sidisi's Faithful getting a nod if you're in, you know, sort of a blue-black exploit deck. Not really what we're up to right now. Yeah, I'm going to take the Dragonloft Idol. I think you can get a lot of cards like Sandstorm Charger later, and this could be an interesting pick if we, if we can now prioritize some dragons. Okay, well, we're going to take this Hardened Berserker here. I really do want us to be in red, and there's nothing in this pack that would make me even tempted. Actually, I mean, I think Hardened Berserker is just the best card in the pack. I have been very unimpressed with Segmented Crotic. I found it's just too expensive, especially to Megamorph, so that you basically never get it as anything other than a 3-mana 2/2. Sandstorm Charger is fine, Artful Maneuver is fine as a trick, but Hardened Berserker is going to be great in our deck, so we're just going to take it. Okay, so here, Vandalize is not playable, and passing it doesn't send any sort of signals. Blue has been kind of open, but I think I'm going to avoid it. I don't think any of these cards are particularly good with the cards that we have right now. We're looking to be aggressive, and while Ojutai's Breath can be a decent sort of tempo card, it's sort of the only card out of these that I would even consider playing with the cards that we have now. Whereas Kolaghan Skirmisher is actually just fine. And, we haven't seen tons of signals yet as to what our second color is going to be, but I don't mind playing Kolaghan Skirmisher. What does Scale Blessing do? So Scale Blessing doesn't seem to be a great fit for our deck right now. In this pack, I don't mind Kolaghan Monument, and actually that may be the pick. I think I'd rather that over another Skirmisher or a Dragonfire. The monuments are way better than the banners were in Khan's block. The fact that you get an evasive threat later in the game, sort of you can trade resources with your opponent, and then you sort of have inevitability, and I kind of like that. It doesn't go great with our picks right now, but I think it's better than the other cards in that pack. Okay, Sarkhan's Triumph. Sarkhan's Triumph for a Thunderbreak Regent is kind of interesting, I suppose. I mean, this is not a great card. I don't think I really want to play it. Tormenting Voice is worth a consideration. And the other cards, I mean, Elusive Spellfist is fine. I'm just going to take the Tormenting Voice. There's a chance we need it for Delve cards. If we decide to go black-red and we get, okay, so this is actually pretty good. We're going to take this Acid Spear Dragon here. Herald of Dromoka is also quite good. I think these two picks sort of, here's where we're starting to decide. But the fact that we have a Monument and, a 2-drop, I think I'm leaning towards this Megamorph Dragon. Okay, I will take this Echoes of the Kin Tree, though. I think that card is a little bit better than people give it credit for. I don't want to play any of these cards. I don't think there's any universe where we play this card, but I guess that means I take the Zephyr Scribe here. I don't think we have any shenanigans with the Ancestral Statue, so we'll just take the Zephyr Scribe, put it in the sideboard. And we'll take this Kindled Fury. It's not a card that I want to be playing, but, we could find ourselves wanting some more instant speed interaction. There's a universe where you play a Kindled Fury. Especially if you end up drafting, okay, well, I was a little bit wishy-washy. Oh, what should our second color be? Man, now I really wish I had that Sarkhan's Triumph, because Deathbringer Regent, holy cow, what a magic card. I mean, this is probably one of the best cards in the set, if not, the best card in Dragons. And we can support it, so we're going to take it. And this definitely means we're playing the Monument, because I want to hit 7, reliably. Following that up, so we have some options here. Silumgar Butcher is totally fine. Stratus Dancer, surprised to see here. Stratus Dancer quite good. Might be the pick because I think this is worth some tickets. As far as other stuff in the pack, yeah, I mean, like, we've got Silumgar Butcher, Marsh Hulk. Marsh Hulk, not great. I really don't like playing this card for similar reasons to the Segmented Crotic. Silumgar Butcher is fine. We're looking a little bit heavy in our curve. We're going to try to bring it down a little bit from where it is. Sign of Ugin is also, like, totally reasonable pick here, just as, like, another dragon. Maybe we can go, like, heavy dragons. But I think Silumgar Butcher is maybe a little bit better than Scion of Ugin. Yeah, it's a tough pick. Maybe I should just take Stratus Dancer for the tickets, though. No, I'll take the Silumgar Butcher. All right, and here, okay, so it's looking a little bit awkward for us because there's some good green and good white in these packs, but we really would like to play red and black. I'm gonna I'm gonna take this Tail Slash because I think it's the best card for us. But you know, forcing our great dragons might come back to bite us. Sorry about that chime there. Here, dare we take a second Tail Slash? Don't really want a Carsey Sadist. I think I'm okay taking a second Tail Slash here. Tail Slash is quite good. Don't get me wrong. Ugh, I don't want a third Tail Slash. Okay, so now we have some tough decisions because there's some very, very good cards here that are not in our colors. Dragon Hunter, quite good. Enduring Victory, quite good. Sandstorm Charger is also fine. I don't think a third Tail Slash is appropriate for this deck. I'm going to take the Enduring Victory because yeah, so if we decide to play white, maybe the correct pick is Dragon Hunter. We have a fair number of pieces of removal here, but what we're lacking is creatures. I don't really like Sipsig Icebreakers. So maybe it's fine to take it here. I'm going to take the Dragon Hunter. We're not going to miss a Sipsig Icebreakers. And it could just be that we're in the wrong colors right now. Like, our black is fine. Like, I mean, it's great. We have Deathbringer Regent. Don't get me wrong. Like, I really would like to play this Deathbringer Regent. But maybe it's possible that we can get there by having a base red-white deck. Excuse me. Yeah, we'll have to see how things sort of hedge up here. Okay, well, yeah, some strange signals here. That last couple of packs have had a lot of great green and white, and here there's nothing playable in those colors. We're gonna stay away from blue. That's not gonna happen for us. We'll take a second Silumgar Butcher, and I guess yeah. So we'll see what happens. This is not a great place to be, needing the low parts of your curve, you know, because this is what I found in the format is that you can get expensive cards, and you can get cards that can, you know, close the game for you fairly easily. You know, they won't be as high quality as some of the ones that we have, but what's hard to get is just a bunch of, you know, 2-drops. So yeah, so our black is like so lackluster minus the Deathbringer Regent. I'm not going to take a Wandering Tomb Shell here. I don't think we need the Vial of Dragonfire. I'm going to take this Dromoka Warrior, because maybe we do play a red-white aggressive deck and just give up on the Regent. Just so sad. Like, our Dragonloft idol looks great now, having Acid Spear Dragon, Deathbringer Regent, and Thunderbreak Regent. Like, that's pretty consistent for having our idol online late in the game. But we're just not getting the cards right now. As far as what we do if we do move into red-white, we're going to need to really prioritize creatures. And yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say outside of that. We are definitely in an awkward spot in the draft. Okay. I am going to, like, in white, we have Dromoka Dunecaster, which is fine, but not great. And in black, we have Sipsig Icebreakers, which I also am not a great fan of. Dragonlord Servant, actually, though, is quite good with our deck as it stands, with 3 dragons in it, and does provide us another, like, early play. It's not, like, a great card, but in our current configuration of this deck, I think it's totally fine to play this card. And we may end up in sort of a more controlling red-black deck. We've got a lot of removal in what we've got so far. You know, double Silumgar Butcher, Sarkhan's Rage, double Tail Slash, and yeah, I mean that seems like a decent amount of removal. We are hurting on creatures, but maybe it's just best at this point to just commit to red-black. And along those lines, I suppose we'll play this Carsey Sadist. Again, not insanely powerful or anything, but does slot into the curve in the spots we need it. And it's possible, with this deck that we just have enough removal and enough insane cards. Deathbringer Regent, right? Presumably, if we resolve our Deathbringer Regent, we shouldn't have much trouble closing the game. So, we have a Wrath and we have lots of pieces of removal. So maybe the game we should be playing is just to sort of stall in the early game and to get to these sort of more powerful cards on the top end of our curve. I think switching over into red-white, we are now starting to lose a little bit of value. Okay, so Marsh Hulk, despite what I said about you earlier, you're in the deck. We need creatures and you'll be fine. Shambling Goblin also not bad. I've been impressed with Shambling Goblin. It kills 2/2s, which is important because there are a lot of two toughness creatures in the format. And it's also just like, I don't know, a fine turn 1 play to keep back a lot of your opponent's more aggressive things. It's also fine to exploit with Silumgar Butcher as well. Yeah, so this is something in this third pack here. We're looking for 2-drops, preferably more aggressive 2-drops than what we've got currently. We're looking for, we're looking for this. Brutal Horde Chief. Brutal Horde Chief is insane. So we're going to take it here. We're a little bit sad to be passing this Reach of Shadows, though we do have a lot of removal already, but Brutal Horde Chief is just the bomb we're looking for. All right, look at our deck here. We've got so many bombs. And we're following that up with an Arc Bond. Arc Bond, another way to wipe the board, and could be, it's a little bit risky. You can get blown out, right? You choose your creature and then they remove it in response and you're pretty sad. Merciless Executioner is probably a safer pick. But Arc Bond has some upside to it. We are a little bit hurting for creatures. Much damage to each other creature and each player. Arc Bond. I think this card is pretty strong. It's a little bit situational though, so maybe I take the Executioner here and I just be happy. Yeah, let's take the Executioner here. The upside isn't quite as high, but I think it's worth it. Soul Flare. Soul Flare, I don't know if it's great. I mean, we got a couple flyers, so that's definitely fine. Not really anything else with a huge upside for Soul Flare, but just as like a delve creature, we'd rather have a Gurmag Angler, but I think Soul Flare is just totally fine. The only other card in this pack that we'd consider is probably Collateral Damage. I do not like Mardu Shadowspear unless you're in a dedicated warrior deck. Yeah, we'll take a Soul Flare. We are playing Rare's .deck at the moment. Yeah, we've got Soul Flare, Regent, Deathbringer Regent, Thunderbreak Regent, Brutal Horde Chief. Pretty nice. We could have had that Arc Bomb too. From this pack, I like Typhoid Rats. Hooded Assassin is also fine, and Smoldering Efreet, hopefully we get on the wheel, but I really do like Rats, and I'm going to take it. And here, Fearsome Awakening is an interesting card, but it is not the card that we want to play, I think. 2 +1/+1 counters on it. We've got 3 pretty decent dragons. Fierce Invocation gives us another creature that we probably don't play though. Our high end is already pretty high as it is. I think whatever we're taking from this pack we're not playing, so maybe in that case it's better to just take like a Channel Harm or an Aven Surveyor, like a card that we don't want to play against. Yeah, I'll cut the Channel Harm here. Okay, well, look at this. So we've got quite the array of things that we want here. Gurmag Angler, probably the pick. It's very, very strong. Orc Sure Shot, also very strong. Teamer Battle Rage, great. My argument for not taking a Teamer Battle Rage here is that the things that we have that are going to trigger Ferocious are already kind of evasive anyway. So I don't know if we really need Teamer Battle Rage. Whereas Gurmag Angler, just, I mean, look at him. Look at that big mouth. It's always going to be good. We're taking it. All right. So, Lesh's Vanguard is fine. Harsh Sustenance is quite good. I don't think we're going to be able to splash it, though there is a Scoured Barrens here. Lesh's Vanguard, let's see. 23 cards right now, probably not playing the Tormenting Voice, though it's possible with 2 Delph cards. Yeah, we'll take this Harsh Sustenance. Maybe we'll find a way to splash it. Karsi High Priest is actually a card that I found to be like totally fine. I'm not sure if it'll make our deck, but I think it's worth taking there. Dragon Rage, not great. Lightning Shrieker is a card that I would never play under normal circumstances, but we do have a lot of cards that sort of care about dragons. I think I'm just going to cut the Grim Contest here. We're not going to play a Lightning Shrieker. Not with the card quality that we have currently. Like, our deck turned out just fine. Here I will take this Sibsig Host and a Right into Being, because that's actually a playable card. None of you. Maybe I'll take this Break Through the Line. I don't see us playing it, but it's an interesting card anyway. Fierce Invocation, it's fine. I'll put it in the main for now. We'll make some cuts. Tassigur's Cruelty is actually a great sideboard card, so I'm fine with that. Okay, so the deck came together, and it helped that we opened 3 insanely powerful cards in the packs that we opened that were on color. You know, Thunderbreak Regent, Brutal Horde Chief, Deathbringer Regent, just totally awesome. Right now our curve is pretty high, and that's probably the place where we're going to have to really think about making cuts with all these 5-drops. I think probably we can safely say that we're not playing Fierce Invocation, and we may even cut a Butcher here. I do want to play this Monument, and as far as our low drops go, Karsi Sadist is not, like, we're never going to be exploiting probably with Karsi Sadist, except for maybe in an off chance where we use Shambling Goblin or something. But we may just need these 2 drops to carry us through the early game. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 early plays. Looking through the rest of our picks here. Yeah, it is the worst card that we have. It gives us 5 early plays, and then we've got a couple of morphs and a couple of other things to carry us through the mid game, and then our late game looks very strong. The other things I would consider is like Soul Flare. Soul Flare is fine because we have so many flyers, but like, and I guess we have Typhoid Rat, so we have the possibility for Death Touch. But in general, like, you know, Soul Flare isn't going to pick up too much from our creatures. Oh, I guess Estus Pure Dragon also would give us Death Touch. So so maybe Soul Flare is worth it. The other thing is maybe cutting a Silumgar Butcher. The thing I found with Silumgar Butcher is -3/-3 doesn't quite kill things that you want to be killing for 5 mana. And if you're not exploiting, you know, some weak creature, and you're exploiting the Butcher, you kind of feel really bad about that. Like, maybe it's correct to play the Sadist to get us through the early games and, like, go down to 1 Butcher. It's possible that that's correct. I've just been, like, really unimpressed with Silumgar Butcher the last few times I've played with it. So looking at our curve here, it helps that we have the Monument, and we're going to go probably heavier black than red. We do have 2 double red spells at 4, but we have double black spells as well, and it's sort of more important for us to hit black early. Yeah, so we'll go 9. Oh, they're recommending 10-7. We're gonna go 9-8 because we do have the monuments. We do have some fixing here. Yeah, yeah, so I think this is the deck that we're going to run. I will see you guys in round 1.